What's up, guys? Joe Munoz, OneStepPrep.com. Threat and error management. Most briefings nowadays at carriers you see are talking about threats first. And as I drive to the airport now, I look around and I already spot some threats, which is not the greatest of weather. It's raining lightly. It looks like it's going to come down a bit heavier. Some potential convective activity. So I'm going to look at the weather radar. And of course, with all that comes the potential for wind shear. And so, you know, as I drive into the airport, I'm already thinking when I run my takeoff numbers, it's probably going to be wet runway. It's also very likely that we're not going to use flex numbers or reduced takeoff thrust for those of you that fly another aircraft other than the Airbus. Probably going to be a toga takeoff. I'm probably going to do a mental review of the wind shear recovery procedure prior to V1 as well as after V1. Obviously, prior would be just reject. After we go to toga, if we're not already there, which we should be, given the fact that these factors are present, and then initial pitch attitude into the SRS, the flight director, or 17.5 degrees, pilot monitoring, calling out the radio altimeter. Like, I'm just going to read kind of mentally through all these things as I prepare for some of these potential threats. So, you know, it's like just driving into the airport, I can pretty well tell already, at least weather-wise, locally, what we're looking at on the departure. In a moment, I'm going to get on the highway, which parallels the approach to the easterly runways and the departures of the westerly runways. So based on which way they're taking off and landing, I'm going to know pretty well, obviously, which way we're likely to depart and also what that means from a weather perspective. Because generally speaking, in South Florida, when we're departing west, there's probably some kind of frontal activity happening. There's probably some weather in the vicinity, which I can see, so I would expect maybe that's going on right now. But we're going to go find out here momentarily. So, start your briefings with threats. Threats are what it sounds like, things that would pose an increased danger or risk to your flight. It changes. It could be anything from weather to low experience to lack of familiarity. Maybe it's some level of you're tired or fatigued. It's the last flight of the day. You got get-home-itis. The airplane's in bad shape. Whatever, okay? Maybe there's a whole slew of things that you want to bring up, and then, of course, think about how you're going to mitigate these threats. So, hopefully we can help you. You guys know where to find us, OneStepPrep.com, whether you need a type rating or an FAA license, or you just want to do some prep or some video programs with us, some virtual training, you want some coaching, I don't know. But we do many things. OneStepPrep.com is where you can find the list of services, and if you don't see something there that you want to do, we could always customize it for you. So, hit the link, OneStepPrep.com. We'll see you there. I'm going to go check out the radar and take a look at what's going on here. Ceiling also looks pretty low, so I do want to share with you, when you're in the sim, a lot of times I hear people, you know, they'll take off and have a problem like an engine failure, and then right away you hear them calling up ATC, hey, request a vector, we need an immediate return. Okay, well, that's likely what's going to happen, but I want you to keep in mind, usually in the sim, we're doing it at low visibility, and maybe the visibility is such where it's not ideal to return, in fact, maybe not even legal to return back to the point of departure. So before you tell ATC you're going to return, ask them for the ATIS and make sure the visibility is adequate to shoot an approach there. Most times examiners are looking for that you don't jump the gun. You actually check the visibility to make sure you're legal for the approach. Now, granted, obviously, if you declare an emergency, you have emergency authority to do whatever, but that being said, if you are in an emergency, you probably don't want to go to the place with the worst visibility either, right? So anyways, things to think about. Love to talk more with you. Love to provide whatever instruction we can. You guys know the link and you know the name. I've already said it 100 times, OneStepPrep.com. I'll see you there.